Hello everyone. Today in this video I'm going to talk about exception handling in coroutines flow. In my previous videos I have covered the basics of coroutines flow. If you haven't watched this video, you can watch it using the I button or using the link in the description. So let's start with this video. A coroutine flow represents an asynchronous cold stream of elements that can complete successfully or with an exception. So today we will see how we can handle those exceptions while working with coroutine flow. So let's say it using some code. I'll go to my IntelliJ editor. Here I will start with a main function. Here I will write a simple method from which I'll get a flow of data, and then we will see if there is any exception during this data flow, then how can we handle it. So I will call this method flow exception example, and then I'll simply create this method. Here I will call a method which will return me a data flow. So I'll call it get data flow. Okay, and this function will return me a flow of integers. So here I'll use a flow builder. Okay, I have to import this, and then from here I'll simply run a loop. Okay, I'll call it value in range 1 to 3, and then it will simply return me those values. Okay, so I'll emit values. So this method will return you a flow of data from 1 to 3. Here I'll add one print statement. Here I'll simply print emitting value, and then I'll print the value here. Okay, and then I will call collect method to collect elements from this flow, and I'll simply print those values here. Okay, so I'll also have to, as this is a suspending function, I'll have to provide the coroutine scope. I'll use run blocking for that. So now we have a function which will be returning me a flow from 1 to 3, and then I'm simply printing these values. Okay, I'll add a statement here. I'll call value is this. Okay, and then let's run this example. It should return me 3 values. So here in the output you can see we have got emitting value 1, and then the value is printed. Similarly we got this for 3 of the elements. Okay, so now let's say if there is an exception during this data flow, then what will happen. So I'll simply add a map on this flow. Here in this map I'll simply check if the returning elements from this flow is less than 3. So I'll simply put a condition if it is less than 3. Then I'll simply print a statement here. I will call it invalid value. Okay, so I'll print a statement invalid value, and then I'll print the value also. So here check is a Kotlin method which basically checks for this predicate. If this predicate returns you false, then it will throw an exception with this message. So if you check this method, so you can see here this method throws an illegal state exception with the result of calling lazy message if the value is false. So here if this predicate returns you false, then this method will throw an illegal state exception with this message. After this check, I'll simply return the value which is coming from this block, right? So let's run this example and let's see the output. So here if you see we got a exception. So here we receive value still 2, and then after emitting the value 3 we got invalid value, and if you see the exception, illegal state exception. So here in this data flow it is throwing an exception. In your real application you might get unexpected exception due to some bug in your code which will be propagated, and it will end up calling an uncaught exception handler. But let's say if this block of code is doing some network call to fetch some data from some remote API, then there is a possibility that you will get some expected failure if anything goes wrong with the network call. For example, you might get internal server error or some 400 series error. So how to handle such exceptions? So for that we can simply use try-catch construct provided by the Kotlin. So I'll simply move this code in a try-catch block. Okay, and then I'll simply add a catch block here. Here I'll catch the exception which will be of type throwable, and then it will simply print the exception. Okay, I'll just call it exception and then ex. Okay, so now if I run the example now, let's see the output. So here in the output you can see that this code does not stops unexpectedly. It catches this exception and prints this line, right? So here after emitting value 3, it prints invalid value 3 which is coming from this block, and then it printed exception and then the exception name and then this kotlin.unit, because I haven't returned anything from this block. So what I can do is I can simply return the value from here as well. So here I can simply return a message. I can say crashed on value, and I can simply pass the value. Okay. So now if I rerun this example, I should get this message during printing the exception. So here in the output, you can see in this line, it is printing the exception name and then the value which I have passed, right? So this is one way of handling exceptions in Flow. So this is the usual way of handling exception. Now if you see this code is not that readable as it was previously, and also we have a lot of indentation here. So let's see how we can encapsulate this exception handling in some operator. So something like if we can have handle error operator, which will basically catch any exceptions. So in that case, we don't have to write any try catch block, right? So we'll try something like this. I will create this function as an extension function of flow, okay, which will simply return me a flow. So here I'll return a flow. I will import this. Here in this method, I'll simply encapsulate the exception handling part. So for that, I'll need to use try catch block. So from inside this, I'll simply collect the values from here, and then I'll simply emit those values from here, okay, and then I'll add a catch here. So any exception will be caught here, and then from this catch block I'll simply print the exception. So I'll simply say exception, and then I'll simply print the exception variable. So now we have this code ready. So here if you see, this code is now more readable, more simple, and we have less indentation. So let's run this example and let's see the output. We should get the same output. So here if you see, we are getting the same output, but now the code is much more simpler, right? Similar to handle error operator, we have something called catch operator. So instead of writing your own function, you can use this. If you see, this is an extension function on Flow. It does the same thing here. So what this will do, this will basically catch all the exception coming from upstream, and then based on your logic, you can either ignore the exception, or you can emit some other flow, or you can even throw some other exception. So let's say here I want to simply print the exception. So here I'll simply print exception, and then I'll print the value. Let's run this example. We should get the same output. So here if you see, we get the same output and we are able to catch exceptions coming from upstream. But what if we have any exception occurring in this collect block? Then what will happen? So let's do one thing. Instead of doing this check here, what I can do is I can remove this map. It will simply return me integer values. Instead I'll put this check inside this collect block, okay. So here I'll have this check in this collect block, and now let's run this example to see what happens. So if you see here, we again got this exception, right? That means this catch operator will catch all the exceptions coming from upstream, but it does not catch exception coming from downstream. So for that, what we can do is we can write this block of code in such a way that we can use this catch operator to catch all the exceptions, okay, whether it is coming from this data flow, or it is coming from some intermediate operator, like let's say collect, or some operator if you are using here. Let's say if you are using some map operator and it is throwing some exception, then that also should be captured. So for that, what I'll do is I'll use one more operator here on each, okay, and then I'll simply move this block to on each operator. So on each operator will basically performs this action on every element coming from this flow, okay, and then instead of calling this collect with block of code, I'll simply call this function collect, okay. Now let's run this example. So now if you see, we are able to catch all the exceptions, whether it is coming from this data flow or it is coming from any intermediate operator, okay. So that's all about handling exception while working with coroutines Flow. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.